I'm Evelyn. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So it's been a little while since the last speed build on the channel. I know. I actually did this one a while ago and then just never really finished it. So here we are, finally sharing it with you. But essentially, a lot of things have come up in the meantime. So it's just been a little bit difficult to juggle. But a lot of migraines as well. It is what it is. Quickly want to say a big thank you to Aura for sponsoring today's video. We'll talk about them in a little bit. But first of all, we are building this Scandinavian inspired home. I love to do these. I kind of wanted to visit my comfort zone when I built this and just have a lot of fun with platforms actually. So there's a lot of that in this build, as you might have seen from the thumbnail. So, a whole lot. We're definitely overdoing it a little bit, but I had a lot of fun with it. I've been playing around with platforms for another build that's going up on the channel next week, or whenever this video, it might already be up, I'm not really sure, but it's going up at some point. So just having a lot of fun with platforms these days when I sit down and build, and I hope you guys like it. Just trying to explore some different ways to do landscaping, because I definitely have a tendency to stick to the more down to minimalist, or it's not really minimalist. I've never been a minimalist when it comes to landscaping foliage. I definitely have not. I'm definitely in the overdoing it, but the more realistic looking kind of landscaping, if you can say that. So today we're just having fun with the platforms, making it not look super realistic. And yes, but we're now in October, so this is basically the month of autumn builds. I need to do some. I think the other build that I have sitting in my folders currently might be a little bit more autumnal than this one. So yeah, there'll definitely be some up though. I think I'm gonna go a little bit autumn, how would you say that? Binge a lot of autumn builds? No, because that means I'm watching them, not recording them. You know what I mean. I'm gonna go on an autumn building spree. That's what I mean to say when I come back, or when I come back. I'm going to Copenhagen in a few hours. We're doing an AM voiceover. It's fine. I'm basically on my last minute-ish as per usual, so here we are. I got a few hours to sleep, so it's fine. But actually, speaking of sleep, let's talk about today's sponsor. Thank you to Aura for sponsoring today's video. If you don't know what Aura is, let me tell you a little bit about the app. Aura is an all-in-one app for mindfulness, well-being, and sleep. It's trusted by 7 million people across the world, has 30,000 5-star reviews, and has also won the Best of Apple Award, so I think it's safe to say that it's a very popular app. Aura has content and tracks from hundreds of different coaches and therapists, so there's a lot of variety in the content, and there is something for everyone. I guess you could kind of call it the Spotify for mindfulness. With Aura, you can also set it up so that you get personalized recommendations every day. So say that you prefer music or ASMR tracks, for example. You can add that to your setup, and then you'll get daily recommendations for different music and ASMR tracks. It's pretty cool. So you keep expanding your favorites list that way. But there are so many different categories to check out as well, because you have work wellness, previously mentioned ASMR music, but there's also soundscapes, breathwork, stories, and podcasts, and more. And so there are a lot of different tracks that you can check out to figure out what works best for you. And they're actually also hosted lives on Aura. They're hosted by different coaches, and you can even get one-on-one coaching directly. And I've mentioned before so many times, delirious voiceovers, hello, I have a lot of sleeping issues. So what I've done is I've personally chosen meditation, soundscapes, and also ASMR, and I listen to that while I'm winding down after work. So I'll be lying on my couch with my headphones on, blissfully just listening to these very relaxing tracks. And it really probably calms me down before I have to sleep. I would definitely recommend checking out the soundscapes. They are so relaxing, waves just rolling in my ears. Ugh, I love it. So if you'd like to check out Aura, you can find a link to it in the description box as well as in the pinned comment. It does come with a free trial, so you're not bound to anything, but the first 500 of you who sign up using my link actually get an exclusive 25% off of your subscription. So I'd say that's a pretty good deal. What are you waiting for? Go check it out. And thank you again so much to Aura for sponsoring today's video, but most importantly, thank you guys for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you all so much. And now let's get on with this video, shall we? Let's get on with the build. What are we waiting for? Let's go. I'll get everything sleep-wise sorted when we are done talking today. I actually kind of wanted to I forgot to tell you how many can fit in this house. That's also because I kind of forgot how many can fit in this house. I have my floor plans up on my secondary monitor whenever I do voiceovers, so that's why you might be hearing me clicking back and forth. But I don't know if my keyboard is that loud. It tends to be sometimes, but I don't know. I record with another one actually when I do real-time stuff, if you're curious about that. I just prefer using this one because I can hear it's a thing. I can hear the clicky clacky, you know, but that's not good when you record because you don't want to hear the clicky clacky. Maybe some of you do, but I don't think that the general consensus is that that's pretty annoying. So I have another one that I record on. But as for the family that lives in this house, it's a 40 by 30. It's built in Windenburg in the forest area. And yes, it is a 40 by 30, but there's only room for 2 parents and one, I think it's a teen. I think it's possibly a teen. The thing is that this house, because of the landscaping, I had to move it from a 30 by 20, which is where I started building it. And I moved it to a 40 by 30 because suddenly I was like, listen, I don't want to do this I don't want to do platforms like this. We're just going to have to make it bigger. It is what it is. We're making it bigger, grander, just going a little bit mayhem with it. It's fine. So I had to move it to a 40 by 30. It gets more than this. This is me like trying to like easing into it, like dipping a toe. We're jumping in both feet in a second. It's happening and we're just gonna go all over platforms. I'm gonna be like, you know what? Middle height or mid-height walls. No, it's not enough. Let's go tall. And then just at so many platforms that we're basically dealing with like a short wall inside the house. Does that make sense? If I've forgotten anything during the video, by the way, like ceiling tiles? That's what it's called. Ceiling roof? I don't know what that was. We're in the AM. I'm excused. But if I've forgotten those, definitely have not in the uploaded version, just want to say. So because I think sometimes, I can't remember if it was this one the last time, or if it was the other build that I have in my folders. I tend to kind of sometimes forget when I build. So sometimes I do it off cam also because it gets a little bit tedious going back and forth between. It's a whole thing. The game likes to, I usually these days don't build my houses in one go. I build them over 2 days. Especially if they're 40 by 30s, I can do smaller houses than that in one day, but because, you know, bag issues and all of that, we're just taking it a little bit slower when it comes to the bigger houses. So they're usually split up in recording them in 2 days. And that means whenever I open the game on the second day, see, we're raising the walls. I'm like, at this point, I'm like, what am I doing? I don't know. We're figuring it out. It's fine. But when I open the game on the second day, for some reason, the ceilings are gone. So yeah, it's a whole thing. I don't know what it is, but it gets very tedious to watch. So I sometimes just choose to do it off cam. So if I did that with this one, I can't remember if I did, but if I did, don't worry about it. There's going to be ceiling tiles in the uploaded version. I definitely took care of that. So we're just having some fun with like half walls, and then I'm like, those half walls, the wall trims are so bad. I don't love the look of them. I tried to change the color of them as well at some point. Did not like how they looked. So I actually ended up finding like a brick wall or something in the debug catalog and sized that down and used that for some stuff. It turned into a whole, yes, we went on a search for the best looking wall. I actually found a couple more in the next build that's going up on the channel. So there's some other stuff that if you want to copy this, you can definitely do that. But there's some other walls as well that I found in the debug catalog that we're gonna test in the next build. So we're definitely gonna explore this like platform usage, the platformage. Yes. Let's go with that. The platformage in the next upcoming builds, just so you know. Also, I should probably like tone it down a little bit, the voiceover, because my neighbors are definitely sleeping right now, and I'm pretty sure their bedroom is right next to my office, and I don't want to be that neighbor, because that neighbor is so annoying, and I don't want to be her. So we're just gonna tone it down a little bit, but definitely like cannot interrupt people's sleep. That's just not a good look, is it? So we're just gonna tone it down a little bit. But it's been a while since I've done a voiceover. I got a little bit overexcited for a second. We got so many things to talk about. Like, what the heck happened? Like, we're getting a third EP this year. I don't think I've done a voiceover since that was announced in I don't even think I watched the, what's it called? The Behind the Sims Summit, because I don't think I was home. So I just somehow, one of my friends was like, here's the roadmap. What the heck? There's a third EP coming, and I think, if I recall correctly, people are speculating that it might have something to do with Thai houses or like a Thai inspired world. I don't really know, so if you have any ideas, let me know, because I can't fully recall, but there's definitely a third EP coming. So that's exciting, but also kind of like, what the heck? Because a third? We've never had that. We had a year with one, and then usually it's two. Three, I mean, the other two were very, very early on in the year as well, so like, it wouldn't really be completely, it would be a long last half of the year without any bigger packs being released, so I'm a bit like, maybe they did that on purpose. I mean, of course they did it on purpose, but I don't know how else to phrase it. Maybe the whole, like, it's weird. It's weird. I'll take it. Don't get me wrong, but I'm very like, you're throwing me off my game here. Like, I don't know how am I going to predict what you're going to do when you suddenly do that? So I'm a bit like, a bit curious. But yeah, if you can remember what people are theorizing about the whole theme and stuff, let me know. It was something to do with neighbors, right? But I can't recall what the other theories are at this very moment. So let me know, help a girl out. I would be completely cool with like a Thai inspired world. A lot of the houses that I build that I call Scandi, this is funny, and I've said this in several of the videos actually, but a lot of the houses that I build that are called like Scandi inspired houses, my chair's making noises, by the way, just want to say, I can't sit still when I do voiceovers. So like if you hear weird noises in the back, no, it's just my chair, okay, and I swear it is. But anyway, but a lot of those houses are actually inspired by both Polish houses, like newer building projects that they're doing over there called Domu or something like that, but also Thai houses that are very clearly inspired by Scandinavian houses. So I'm sitting here, a Scandinavian person, looking at a Thai house that's inspired by a Scandinavian house, and I'm like, I'm gonna take inspiration from your Scandi Thai house and make a Scandinavian. It's all very Inception, isn't it? Yeah, it is, but it's kind of funny. So I would be completely cool with that. I think that's like also very different from a lot of the other packs that we have, but I could be wrong about the whole Thai thing, so don't quote me on it, but I think that's what people were theorizing. However, if you recall another theory, let me know, and let everyone else know, just because I could be wrong, and I'll admit that, like, I'm wrong very often, but I could definitely be wrong about this. So right now we're just having like a lot of fun with various debug catalog items. The landscaping in this, I'm very thankful for myself making that sound is so weird. I'm very thankful that I made the interior so small. There we go. Because I definitely did a lot with the exterior of this house. It took such a long time trying to find all the debug items and stuff that I felt like would fit, because I just wanted it to look very well thought out, which I suppose it also is because I sat here for a very long time and thought about it. But I just really wanted to put a lot of thought into it, basically. So definitely going through the debug catalog several times, playing around with shapes, playing around with tool a lot as well for this one. Just having like a lot of fun with this house. I really like how it all came together as well. It's kind of different from a lot of the other houses that I've done. It is slightly inspired by a minimalist house that I did, like the landscaping itself with the platform staircases and stuff. It's definitely very inspired by a what's it called? A minimalist house that I did like years ago, because I did this like, it was almost like a staircase made out of platforms that was framed up with plants, and I just recalled that because I think I'd just gone through some of my older builds sometimes I like critiquing myself a little bit too much. So I like going through my old builds and basically just hating on them. It's fine. I'm healthy. It's okay. But yeah, I think it's just good to have like, be able to critique yourself. I think that's healthy. But I went through some of them, but I was like, wait, this house is kind of cool. I like the landscaping. I haven't really done something like that for a while. So I think for the last build that went up on the channel, I did that before I did that build, so I took a little bit of inspiration from that build as well for that one, and then this one we're just building on like a bigger scale because it's on a 40x30. I think the last one was a little bit smaller. I can't recall. It's a while ago. I'll admit that. But the landscaping on the minimalist house was definitely also a little bit more tropical. There was a lot more flowers and colors involved in the landscaping and the foliage than there is in this one. We're definitely keeping it very green, with just like a little bit of white here and there, and then the low-lying bushes, or whatever you call those, that I like to use as like a base when it comes to landscaping. I did use a mix of one that has some blue flowers in it, and then one that is just like plain, if I recall correctly. So there's like, I think those other ones are actually not called low-lying bushes, or what, I don't even, they're just called something low-lying. The ones that I use a lot. They have white flowers in them. Yeah, there's a lot of, did you guys know how many plants there are in this game? Like, there's a whole lot, and we're using like, generally I use the same 5, so I just wanted to go exploring just a little bit. Actually, I think a lot of the bushes and stuff, shrubs that I'm using for this landscaping is basically the same as I always use. I just use a little bit extra in this one, and then a whole lot of rocks. But we're definitely trying to add just like a little bit of color with the blue as well, just like a little bit. I didn't want to overdo it for this one because there's a whole lot going on with the platforms already, so let's just, oh right, I added a little bit of red as well because I felt like I needed like a deeper color, or like a darker color as well, so I added a little bit of red because some of the areas as well were a little bit too green, and red is a nice contrast to green. So yeah, no, without making it Christmassy. We're not there yet. It's October. All right, that means I actually have to do haunted houses this week, or this month. I should get on that, right? Yeah, I should. If any of you want to see a Halloween themed build, let me know. We can definitely do like one. It's not a thing that, apparently they do celebrate it. Those windows are off-centered and it's annoying me. Just ignore it. I fix it later on. I don't remember why that happened. It's a whole thing, but suddenly I notice and I fix it. So don't worry about it. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know when that happened. Maybe it just happened at the start and I just never caught it. But it's a super annoying thing to sit here and watch back, you know, like, why didn't you see that for so long? You just didn't notice. Like, what the heck? Are you blind? What's going on? I did promise you guys, speaking of Halloween, I think I did promise you guys that I might do, what a promise, I know, but that I might do a Victorian house this month. So I might set 2 days off to build that because those houses usually take a lot longer than a lot of other houses do. So, but yeah, I do have one saved that I think is actually pretty, so I might do that. If you want to see Halloween themed builds though, let me know, because if there's no interest for it, I just am not going to do, we're just going to stick to autumn houses, but if there's actually interest, I'll do one for you, okay? So, and we're definitely also going to have to build something where I can use a new kitchen, because this was built before I got access to that pack. And so obviously I'm not using it. We're using the Dream Home Decorator one, but the new kitchen is stunning. I love it. It's so beautiful. So definitely want to have a little bit of fun with that as well in a build at some point. And I think it could fit one of my like Scandinavian inspired houses. So we'll probably do another one of those this month. Other than that, don't really have a lot of building plans. So if there's anything you'd like to see, let me know. I'll see if I can get on it. So I just want to say for this house, because of the windows and stuff, I definitely did one of those not great things that you sometimes end up doing, where you basically focus so much on the exterior of the house that you kind of forget that you still need to sort out a floor plan. Usually what I will do is make sure that I have some sort of floor plan in mind in regards to where I'm putting the living room and the kitchen and everything before I fully finish the landscaping, because having to move around plants and stuff if you have to extend or expand a room or whatever, or add another square to the build, that kind of sucks, because then you've just spent a lot of time doing the landscaping, but then you have to change it and it just kind of sucks. So I definitely was I was tunnel visioning so much on all the platforms and everything else for the exterior of this house that I definitely forgot to do that. And so the layout of the interior is a little bit funky. It's a little bit on the funnier side. And they ended up not really having a TV in the living room. It is what it is. I know some of you are probably not going to like that, but they're just not a TV loving family. Maybe they have one upstairs. Can I see? Maybe I added one upstairs or something? No, I didn't. I did not, but I did add a piano. So they have that. They don't have a TV. They have a piano. You can always just add like, I don't know, iPads or something. Or tablets. I should call them tablets because they're definitely not iPads. But you could always add tablets. I'm sure they can watch something on that. And they also have a little bit of an office setup over here. So maybe one of them works from home or something, or they just, you know, needed like a study area as well. But it's all very open on the ground floor. Everything is just kind of like in one space, slightly closed off here and there. Like the study area down here, definitely a little bit more closed off compared to the rest of the common area. But there's a half wall, so you can kind of like talk over the half wall if you want, communicate with each other. And it's the kind of interior that I personally like. It's the kind of like layout of the common areas that I prefer. I just love open spaces. So very pleasing to me, but also very Scandinavian. And I know it's not for everyone. We've talked about this before, but I like it. And other than that, as for the color scheme, definitely trying to fit it with the exterior of the house, which is very white and this like warmer brown color. And so, or nuance, or whatever you want to call it. So it's very calming in here. In my opinion, it's very just like calming and relaxing and warm and cozy. So I'm definitely trying to give it that feel, because I think it fits with the surroundings as well. It's a very, I wouldn't personally love to live in the woods, but I also watch way too many horror movies, so those might be connected. I don't know. But I don't know, but they might be. But if I lived in The Sims, if I was a Sim, I would want to live in the foresty area because it seems so nice, so calm, so serenic, so zen, just very, very calming up here. So definitely trying to go for that vibe for the interior as well. And yeah, so this is just my interpretation of that. I hope you guys like it. As I've said like 3 times during this. I always hope you guys like my builds, okay? Otherwise I would not be sharing them with you. So anyway, what are we doing? Well, we're adding a lot of clutter because I kind of forgot for a second for the kitchen. I'm not gonna lie. And then I backtracked and was like, wait a minute. Did you just kind of do the layout for the kitchen and then completely forget everything else? Oh yeah, I did. I also know that there's probably gonna be one person out there looking at the placement of that oven and thinking, isn't that gonna, like, when you open it, isn't that gonna bump together with one of the cupboards on the left side of the oven? No, it's not, because it's The Sims, so that doesn't happen. But in real life, it would probably be really, really annoying. I'm not gonna lie. It would probably be really, really annoying. So we're just gonna ignore it. There's a lot of things you can get away with in The Sims that you wouldn't be able to get away with in real life, and that one is one of them. Another is placement of chimneys, but we're not gonna get into that in this voiceover. But that's been a whole thing on the channel as well at some point. We have a lot of things. Okay, we have a lot of things. Building is so fun, but there's a lot of like disagreements on certain things where I'm just like, I just want to have fun. It doesn't need to be realistic. It's all okay. So, but yeah, I did think about that for a second when I did the kitchen. I was a little bit like, if they're gonna open this cupboard at the same time as they open the oven, that's gonna be an issue. But they don't open the cupboards. It's brilliant. Genius. Which actually reminds me, I went on a walk with my brother and my dad. I do that almost on a weekly basis. Sometimes I miss it because I am behind on making videos. But I sometimes go on walks with them, and the last time I went, we actually talked about kitchens. They usually talk about Latin stuff or the Roman Empire. I don't, that's fine. They're peculiar. No diss to my family whatsoever. I actually mean that. No dissing whatsoever. They like to discuss Latin. That's a thing. We're not gonna get into it in this voiceover. But, so we talked about kitchens, right? And I was like, you know what I've gotten so many comments on? whenever I have placed a fridge next to an oven, and I don't really know why. So I said that, and my brother was like, well, that's obviously because the fridge cools things down and the oven does the opposite. And that makes sense. I just don't need to think about that because I don't build kitchens in real life. So that's like knowledge that I've not really decided to, like I've decided to not really think about it. But now that he said it, it's like, yeah, that's obvious. And he was like, but that's actually what mom's kitchen, that's how it's laid out. And he's like, I don't think that's smart either, but that's how it's laid out. So it's true. My mom's fridge is actually right next to her oven. And it's weird because I've been told so many times that I should not do that. It's always a bit of a, we talked about it in connection with tiny houses, because with tiny houses you have very limited space. So sometimes I've had to put the fridge next to the oven because there was just no other way to lay it out. But as it turns out, it might actually be okay. So with newer fridges and ovens, that issue is not as big as it has been in the past. As my dad so kindly told me, he was very much like, no, that's fine. It's okay. I'm still not gonna do it because I think I've been kind of like trained not to now. Or maybe I'll slip a couple of times from now. Who knows? Maybe I'll slip a couple of times from now on. I don't know. We'll see about that, but it just the whole talk was a little, you may sit there and think that doesn't really sound funny, but I thought it was actually funny having that conversation with my dad and my brother. We're very easily entertained as well, so like I don't expect you to take the same from that conversation as I did, but yeah, I might slip a couple of times from now on. It's just funny that when you've been told the same thing so many times and then someone is just like, that's not true. And now I'm like, I don't know what to believe. I'm just gonna stay in my lane and then just go with the stream, essentially. Just do my thing and that's fine. But anyway, we're almost done with this build, by the way, so I think this is actually the last inside room that we are decorating. I'm not including any of the other bathrooms just because there's one other bathroom. I'm not including that because it's basically the same as the one on the ground floor, and then we're decorating the terrace as well, but other than that, we're basically done. So I hope you guys like this house. If you do, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT. Oh, we are decorating it. Exciting. Have fun watching the bathroom. But you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, the trade files can be found over on my Patreon, which will be linked to in the description box down below, where you can also find a link to my booktube. New name, booktube channel. So if you like to read, definitely go check it out. But I'm gonna go to bed now, so I need to go put on Aura and just calm down, relax with a cup of tea before I gotta sleep. Thank you again so much to them for sponsoring today's video. I appreciate it so much. And that is all I got for you guys today. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.
Oh baby, love me like you did last night. I wanna hold you till the morning comes. Oh baby, love me like you did. Love me like you did. Oh baby, kiss me till I see the light. Like you did last night. Like you did last night. Could it be that I'm lucky to have found someone who is just as crazy as me? Or is it just in my mind? Yet too soon